The first pro is the weather. The weather here is second to none. It only rains about 14 days a year, so most days it's sunny, beautiful, and perfect outside. Let me show you a weather chart. So here we are. You have the average high and low temperature, and you could see the hot season lasts for about 3.5 months in summertime, and then most of the year it's in the 80s and 70s. Like for example, in November, December, the high of 67, low of 42. And then January, February, March, 75. And like yesterday, I'm filming this in January and it was 85 degrees outside and people were laying by the pool. Now the second pro goes along with the first, and because the weather is so great, the lifestyle here is just unbeatable. I mean, with it being sunny all the time, you could play racquetball, tennis, pickleball. Just in the Palm Springs area alone, there's over 100 golf courses. We have over 100 hiking trails. So, I mean, normally, people are picking ice off their, windshield. I don't even know what to call it because I've never done it before. But, in February and March, people are shoveling snow off their lawn and whatever else you do back there on the East Coast. And here, you're playing tennis, you're playing golf, you're hanging out at the country club. I mean, really, there's something for everyone. Not only do we have great outdoor activities, but there's amazing events all year long, like the World Tour Tennis Tournament that happens in Indian Wells. That's not far from La Quinta, so it's very convenient if you live in La Quinta. Also close to La Quinta is Stagecoach and Coachella Music Festival. That's right there at Indio Fairgrounds. So if you live in La Quinta, you could always turn your home in La Quinta into a rental property during the festival season to make a little extra income and pay your mortgage. Not only do we have great music festivals, but we have the Palm Springs International Film Festival. There's Modernism Week in Palm Springs. La Quinta has a PGA Golf Tour tournament that goes on. So those are just some of the reasons why lifestyle comes in at number 2. And the third pro of living in La Quinta, California is the cost of living. Now I know what you're thinking, cost of living, how is that affordable? Well, compared to the rest of the United States, California is a more expensive place to live. But if you look at La Quinta and the cost of living and you compare that to other parts of California, such as San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and most other areas of California, La Quinta is gonna be way more affordable. I mean, like way more affordable. Let's check out this cost of living calculator. And I have a full video on this if you want a more in-depth look at cost of living in La Quinta, California. It'll be right up there. Okay, check this out. So a salary of $50,000 in Los Angeles could decrease to $37,000 living in La Quinta. You could already see the savings. Now the biggest factor in cost of living in La Quinta, California is the median home cost. The median home cost in LA is $689,000. So basically $700,000 to live in Los Angeles to buy a home. And in a lot of places, it's more like $900,000 to $1 million. It's very hard to find a home for $700,000 in LA. It's 39% less to buy a home in La Quinta, California versus Los Angeles, California. So almost you get 50% more of the home living in La Quinta than LA. So you could see that La Quinta, California is actually pretty affordable compared to other places in California like LA. The fourth pro to living in La Quinta, California is that there's no smog or traffic. I mean, even in the busiest time of the year, you could be in La Quinta and get to the Palm Springs airport in maybe 30-40 minutes, depending on where you live in La Quinta. I mean, try to go to Los Angeles, for example, and drive a few miles in rush hour traffic. You could literally sit in an hour traffic for like 3 or 4 miles. It's insane. Well, come out here, it's amazing. You don't have to deal with that. And the skies are always blue, there's no smog, it's beautiful, so you can breathe this fresh air, it's good for you. That's why I think it's a huge pro and a lot of people move here for that reason. And if you're interested in moving here, my contact information's below. I would love to help you out. The next pro is the location in California. Let's take a look. Now here's La Quinta. If you zoom out here, you could see Los Angeles over here to the west and San Diego down here south, right by the border of Mexico. Now, living in La Quinta, you're not stuck in the desert, even though it's a great place to be stuck in. To drive to Los Angeles, it's about a 2.5 hour drive, and same with San Diego. So the great thing is you could always leave and go to a big city if you want that, and then come back here to the desert where it's nice, safe, quiet, and peaceful, and just awesome. Now let's get into the cons. Now, of course, the cons and the pros, they're both my opinions, but a lot of these things I hear from people who visit or live here year-round, so I'm trying to give you an unbiased, overall just approach so you could make the best decision whether you want to live here or not. The first con is the weather. Now let's take a look at this chart. Now I know what you're thinking. I said the weather was a pro, but here in the summer months, it is 3.5 months where it gets really hot. And going into June, the average is about 98 every day, in the low 68. And then leaving September, it's about 98 as well. So the hottest month, it's about 106 in July. Now, the temperatures do get 115, even 118, 119 sometimes. Seldom, but it happens. Now, during those times, my family and I have a beautiful wife and kids. We'll get away to the beach sometimes for a week or two when it's really, really hot in the really peak season. But other than that, everywhere you go has AC. I mean, the country clubs, the restaurants, the grocery stores, your car has AC. And when it's too hot, after say about 110, 112 degrees, we're not hanging out at the pool anymore. We're just inside, weathering out the heat till it gets better again. And the nice thing is that we are close to LA, San Diego, other places where you can get away. Now, if you have a job where you work outside all year long, the summer months could be pretty tough. I mean, I can't imagine being in an attic or on a roof when it's like 112, 115 outside. Everything has pros and cons, and we put up with the hot summer months for the rest of the year, which is absolutely beautiful. So to me, it's a good trade-off, and especially a lot of people like the heat, and most of the time it's a dry heat. It's not like a humid heat like you'd have in Florida or the South. And you know what, honestly, if it was, say, 80 degrees all year long, housing, everything would probably be double with cost of living. It would probably be $1 million, $2 million for a house here because everyone would want to come here. So the heat sort of keeps this place not too crazy in living cost, I guess. The second thing could be a con or a pro. It's the location in the Palm Springs area. Let's take a look at this map. Now you can see right here, La Quinta is actually right next to Palm Desert and Indian Wells, which is great because Palm Desert has El Paseo, which is like the Rodeo Drive of the desert, like Beverly Hills. La Quinta has a lot of great shops and restaurants as well. You gotta check out Old Town La Quinta, really cute, has sort of a Spanish feel to it, looks old Town La Quinta. There's a coffee shop and some other great spots there you might enjoy. La Quinta has Walmart, Target, a lot of these big box stores as well. But the location in La Quinta, if we look at this map, La Quinta is here on the east part of the valley. So you have Palm Desert, you take 111, the major highway, Rancho Mirage, Cathedral City, Palm Springs. So now, if you're planning to go to Palm Springs a lot or Rancho Mirage, I mean, Palm Springs from parts of La Quinta could be 30, 40 minutes, and Rancho Mirage could be maybe 15 to 25 minutes, just depending on where you are. Now, for a lot of people coming from major cities, that's a quick drive, especially since it's all distance, there's no traffic. But, that could be a con because it's further away from everything. So what I like about La Quinta is there's a beautiful mountain range. It's very quiet. It's sort of just tucked away right around the corner from the rest of the valley. So it just seems a little more tranquil. Some people might like being away from the rest of the Palm Springs area. They don't need to go to Palm Springs or, Palm Desert all the time. La Quinta has everything you need. And then if you want to go, you can go and it's not that far. But other people, they might want to be closer to Palm Desert, Palm Springs, so it could be a con. So that's just one thing I want to tell you about. It is on the other side of the valley compared to some of these other cities. Lastly, there's not a lot of jobs out here. There is and there isn't, so let me tell you. The major industries we have out here are tourism, agriculture, healthcare, and education. So any of those 4 sectors, and I have a video up here getting more into the specifics, you can find a lot of jobs. But if you're not in one of those fields, it just might be a little tougher. Like I said, this is primarily kind of a resort town. I mean, it's country clubs, golf courses, you know, I mean, it's great. It's like you're living on a permanent vacation. There might not be a lot of jobs, for example, in IT or finance or, you know, a lot of other different fields. So you just have to see if this is right for you before you come out here. Now, thank you so much for watching. If you watched this whole video, make sure to hit that like button, you know, hit it for yourself for sticking with this video. And also, on my channel, there's a lot of other great videos you could stick around and watch. And if you have any questions about moving to the area, I would love to help you. People are reaching out to me all the time. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day.